Good morning, guys. It's Dane at ZIMM'S Guitars. Beautiful Saturday morning. Gotta restring some guitars today. Get them ready for resale. This first one is a Shor Omen 6. You guys have seen a lot of these around. Hardtail, made in Indonesia. Really nice guitars, budget friendly. You got the black chrome hardware on this. You got the Shor branded pickup. It's like 2 humbuckers, 3-way switch. Suppose before we take the strings completely off, it's probably a good idea to check the electronics. Okay, good. The bridge will lift right off of here. Set that to the side. The black chrome looks good on this one. There you go. Everything except for that high E string. Yeah. There you go. Super easy. Got a little bit of dust on it. Let's clean on it just a little. This isn't the kind of guitar that you need to shine up. Just want to get some of that off of there. Go down here and we'll take a look at the tuners. Very nice set of Shor branded tuners. I can see it's still got the plastic on here that looks kind of ratty. So I'll get that plastic off of there. They put that on there to help in to keep the tuners from rusting when they're being shipped and all that. But it's left some residue on them. Gotta clean some of that off of there. And I always kind of check the buttons to see if they're nice and tight. And they feel good. I have my 10mm open end wrench that I use to tighten these down with. So this is one of those guitars that I'm not really sure. I think it's maybe below $200 price point on this thing, being a used guitar. Shor makes great guitars. This is the bolt-on version. If it was a neck through, it'd be a whole different story. A little 1000 grit sandpaper. Get some of the dirt off of the frets, and a couple of easy swipes. Put a little shine on them. So for all you guys that watched some of my videos lately, I really thank you guys a lot. The storage locker videos did really good for me. And again, I thank you guys for watching and subscribing. All those locker videos, they're all in the past now. So my locker videos did really good, but I don't think I'm going to have another locker to go through. Which is unfortunate, because boy, that's a lot of fun digging through storage lockers and finding really nice items. Let's put some Music Nomad F1 oil on this fretboard. Okay. Put some on there. 24 fret. Lots of crazy inlay on this guitar. Looks like a rosewood fretboard on a maple neck. Got a lot of dirt off of it. But this stuff says cleans, conditions, and protects. 100% natural oils, petroleum free. And I always kind of wipe against the grain. There's two different ways of looking at this. And some guys, you know, if you were cleaning your coffee table at home and you had the pledge out, you'd wipe with the grain, right? In this direction. But I've heard guitar guys say, hey, you're just jamming the dirt up against the fret. So you want to clean it in this direction. So that you're not just taking whatever dirt and DNA that you had on your fingers, or whoever played this guitar had a lot of dirt on their fingers. You know, maybe they were eating fried chicken or chicken wings and got up and played their next set, and all that stuff is on these on this fretboard. And there's a lot of open pore wood that looks like this. There's a lot of room for that, all that dirt and everything to get down in there. But if you take a couple minutes and just wipe on this and clean it, you can see how much dirt's coming off of that. So I always take a couple minutes and really get after the fingerboard. Although there were some of these guys that didn't want their fingerboard cleaned. Like Tom Petty, he was like, oh, you can clean the frets, but don't clean the fingerboard. He liked seeing all that on there. Okay, today's string choice on this, we're going to go with SIT Power Wound 9 through 42s. A lot of times on the guitars that I restring for resale, I will put 9-gauge strings on them. And kind of really slam the action, so when guys come in the store and they play them, they're super easy to play and they have a nice light touch to the guitar. And I do one string at a time, although I've seen tons of guys throw all 6 strings through there. And again, I've said it a million times, but I use my Ernie Ball Power Peg Pro. I've had 2 of these in 7 years. The first one I kind of broke it because I was using it on a nylon string classical acoustic, and the tuners were in really bad shape, and I sat there with this poor thing and and I should have had like a drill or something, but yeah, I kind of ruined the first one. Okay, I see our string height is really high, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop this bridge down a little bit here. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. Okay. Okay, let's tune it up. And then we can look at the string height a little bit more. Just going to throw a snark tuner on it. Yeah, I think I got it maybe a little bit too low right there now. All right. Let's see how the action is on this thing. Wow, this has a really nice thin neck on it. It feels like a Ibanez neck. It's wide and really flat and really thin. .24 fret. Let's just look down it here and just kind of eyeball it and see if the neck looks straight. It's got a little back bow about it. I'm going to loosen the truss rod just a tiny bit because I love guitars where the action is just slammed. But then what happens is guys come in and play them, and after they set on the wall for a month or so with that action being really low, sometimes these necks will move around a little bit and then you'll end up with a dead fret and guys are like, dude, it's got dead frets. And then, so I leave the action a little bit higher to prevent that from happening. So very easy to do this. Just got to make sure you got the right wrench in here. And now to snug this tight, you'd be pulling it this way. So I'm going to loosen it up a little bit right there. Okay, let's go. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. Give it another try to loosen it up a little bit. There we go. Broke my snark. Alright, let's take my notch straight edge and take a look at this now. Okay, so this is a long scale guitar. This is my notch straight edge long scale. Set that in there. Let's get down here and take a look. Oh, it looks nice and flat now. Little tiny bit of back bow. But I like what that adjustment just did to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the truss rod cover back on. And we're going to call this guitar good. And stretch the strings, tune it up a little tiny bit. And I can put this one out on the sales floor. And also you guys can look on ZIMM'sguitars.net at my website and you'll be able to see it on there too. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next guitar. This video is brought to you by Swiss Picks. It's not just a pick, it's a science. Available at ZIMM'S Guitars or at www.swisspicks.com. Okay, here's what's next. We've got an Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Nice gold hardware on this one. Looks like it's got a nice flat neck on it. Just needs a new set of strings on it. Customer said that the output jack was a little loose. Yeah. Got some scratchiness in the pots. Alright, so let's get in here and let's spray out these pots and take a look back here. Handcrafted in China. I believe it's a 2021. Set neck design. What's it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ply binding all the way around it. Customer's restring. Don't call me on this one, guys. I don't own this one. So it's got the quick disconnect, and it looks like some nice, good size, quarter size. Got push-pull on both the volumes. So that would, so the push-pulls will, you know, split the pickups, so you could run single coils if you want, but they're just a little bit scratchy and dirty in there. So this is what I use. Electronic cleaner. I get this stuff at AutoZone, O'Reilly's. Spray a little bit of this in here. Try to get it in here if you can. Alright. Let's go ahead and pull the strings off. And what's weird about this is these strings, you can kind of see them starting to change color. They're getting real brassy looking. And up here where it wasn't played much, it's your normal kind of, you know, color. But then down here, the strings are getting real pink and kind of brass looking. Bronze looking maybe. Whatever you call it, the strings are changing color. It's got a nice set of Grover style. It's like we have an ebony fretboard. We've got the humbuckers that have the gold pole pieces and then the gold ring that goes around. That's a really nice touch. I'm just going to put some of my Music Nomad F1 oil on the fretboard like I always do. And we'll just clean some of this fretboard real quick. I think the biggest thing on this setup was that the electronics were scratchy and the input jack felt a little bit, or the output jack felt a little bit loose. And so we pretty much already got the important stuff done, and then to see the strings changing color like that and looking really worn out. Don't know what kind of strings those were, but those things were looking really worn out. Alright, my customer brought the strings in, and he brought in a pack of 9 through 42 Ernie Ball strings. Now this guitar had 11s on it, so we'll see what happens when we put 9s on here. We might have to make some adjustments. We'll see what happens. Okay, got my Ernie Ball string winder like I said earlier in the video. Here we go. Okay, so I always take my 10 millimeter to tighten up these tuners. And some guys have told me, dude, don't use an open end wrench. It could slide off, it could do damage. But I've always used this wrench, and I'm telling you one quick reason right now. You know, let's say, okay, you got a string on one, okay, you forgot to tighten it with your open end wrench. You can kind of still get in there and tighten that. So that's another little benefit that I've noticed from using these open end wrenches. You can, even with a string on there, you can get in there and snug that down. So that's one reason that I use that wrench instead of like a socket. Okay, I just ran into something here. I just pulled this string out of the pack and it's missing the ball end, so it looks like it broke. So once in a while, this is the first one in 7 years of restringing guitars where I've pulled a Ernie Ball string that is a factory defect, or it broke and the ball came off somehow. But I mean, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Ernie Ball, yeah, it's bad string. It's okay, I got others laying around. Yeah, never seen one do that before. But I mean, life goes on, right? Still my favorite strings. So once in a while you run into something weird. There's been a couple of things that's going to be weird this month. We had the partial solar eclipse, right? The Ring of Fire in October. That's weird. We had it Friday the 13th this month. That's a little spooky. On Halloween weekend, we have a full moon, which is like the red blood moon or whatever they call that. That's going to be a little bit freaky, but it'll be fun for me. I love that kind of stuff. And we had an Ernie Ball string that showed up, and it was broken, and it was a defect. So, wow. We're off to a crazy October. Need to do a Halloween video. I remember last year I did a Halloween video, and there was a local guy, and I remember I restrung his guitar, but he had passed away. His kids brought the guitar in, and he used to have fangs, and he was in a crazy band. But that was last year's video. That guitar was haunted. This year, haven't come up with a Halloween video idea yet, but I still got 2 weeks left. Alright, let's tune this thing up. I'll put a link in the description to the Halloween video from last year. Down in the description of this video, I'll put a link to last year's video. I'm also going to have a Teespring link where you can support the channel by getting yourself a ZIMM'S Guitars t-shirt or a coffee mug or a hoodie or any of that kind of stuff. There's also a Amazon link in the description. So when you're shopping for Halloween decorations, hit up my Amazon link, and I make like, I don't know what percent I make, maybe 1%, maybe 2%. Alright, these strings are super light on here. And this is a Gibson scale length at 24 3/4. So these babies are going to feel really light on here. So I'm hoping the customer likes that, but he did supply the strings. Okay, let's just one hand over here to protect the nut, and you just kind of pull on these strings, stretch them out a little bit. Strings do stretch, and it helps them to seat in the tailpiece really nice. And you got to be careful up on these higher strings because you'll break them. And then let's tune it again. See that one? I stretched that more than a half a step. Okay, pickup height. This one needs to be lowered a little bit. Let's bring this one down. I always put 2 fingers right here so I can feel the pickup going up or coming down. Right there it's going up, so I'm going to loosen it a little bit. Let's see if I can... Okay, hold on. You got to feel it coming up or going down. There it goes. Bringing it down a little. There we go. Let's just eyeball that pickup. That looks good. And like I do in every video, throw it up on your knee. I like it. Plays great. Epiphone, customer owned Epiphone. Don't look for this one on my website. This is just a customer's restring. And I asked him, hey, do you mind if I throw it in my Saturday restring video? He goes, dude, that'd be awesome. So there you got it. It's in the video. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a great weekend. And I will see you guys next week in another video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Go buy a guitar.